What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a very special video. I'm welcoming my wife Michaela back, and you may have noticed that the channel is not named after me because Michaela is definitely an integral part of this thing we have going.
Integral.
Yeah, I think that's the right word. So we might even rebrand the name in the future, but right now it's still just named after our business. So we figured we would jump on and do a Q&A. We had some questions come up on Instagram and Facebook, so we will get into those.
The first question is, what items sell best?
That is tough to answer. Do you mean, if you mean what items sell best for us, then it's typically newer, trendier items or kind of rare vintage pieces. But if I was going to answer that question for someone else, I would probably suggest starting your eBay trip with like things that you are interested in, that you'll be more likely to know the value of, and it's not as stressful or as much of a headache to research it, to look at pictures, to go shopping for it, to read about it. So
if it's more fun for you, I guess it does matter, but if you find something you like to shop for,
yeah, start there. It's easy to find value in the things that you enjoy because you're not the only person that enjoys them.
How do you know what to price things?
Well, with eBay, it's really simple. You just search the item that you're trying to sell, and then you go up into the specifics and you switch it to sold listings, and you enter in as much information to narrow down that information. And then you just kind of browse, because you'll see what has sold on eBay over the past 90 days, and then you just take an average. I guess the trickiest part is figuring out how to grade, how to determine the condition of your item. And at the beginning, I would just try to stay with items that are either new would be great, but if not new, just try to find used items that are gently used, that they don't have like a lot of stains or holes, and then you can list it as like gently used, take a picture of any blemish, and just be transparent, and we haven't really had issues then.
It amazes me sometimes what you price things at, and he'll bring something home and I'll say like, that's gonna sit for a long time, and then it sells for like $80 the next day, and I'm like, how did you know? So you gotta do your research, because I have no idea. That's his job. Next question is, where do you buy the stuff that you sell to make the most profit? Okay,
well, all last year we sourced like 90% of our inventory from the Salvation Army bins. And that's where you buy by the pound. It takes a little bit more work digging through the stuff, and it was an hour drive for me. But typically, you're paying less than $1 or $2 for things based on weight. Now, since quarantine, that's closed. It hasn't opened back up. So most of our stuff is still coming from thrift stores. We both love to garage sale, but we live in Michigan, so the garage sale season is kind of short. And being out in the country, it's a lot of fun, but we only really do it for fun because it's not very time effective because of the distance between garage sales, and you just can't hit a lot in an hour. There's a few weekends in the year where it'll be a very, very large kind of orchestrated yard sale, and then we'll hit those. But other than that, it's mainly thrift stores. We also will hit up stores like TJ Maxx, Marshalls. But
that's my favorite part.
yeah, not as much. And now we are also sourcing pallets and selling furniture and selling to a local market. So that's been exciting.
Yeah, it's more fun for me.
We'll let you know how the profits go in a few more weeks.
Next question is, should I post the items on multiple sites?
I just made a video about that. I would highly suggest you go watch that, but I'm not going to completely neglect you. I would say in most situations, yes.
And then this must be from somebody starting out new. Do customers pay for the shipping or do you?
On all the platforms that we sell on, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and most of them that I'm aware of, you have an option of charging for shipping or having it free. It doesn't really matter as long as you understand that if you pick free shipping, you have to factor that into your listing price. We used to do free shipping and I thought that it helped with the sell-through rate, but now we're back to charging and we're still growing, so
yeah,
I would say charge to start just to make it easier. And if you are unsure about how much shipping will cost, buy like a $20 shipping scale from Amazon or eBay and then weigh them when you list and then do calculated shipping. That way eBay will always charge enough and you won't get burnt.
Yeah, I feel like you've flopped back and forth a few times over the years and there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, either one will work, but I suggest charging to start.
Okay, the next one is how do you split the workload?
This is bounced back and forth through the years, and right now I feel like we have kind of reached a stride. So I do the sourcing and the listing. Michaela does the photography and the inventory, and then we kind of bounce back and forth for shipping. Yeah.
Shipping.
Michaela does it most of the time. It's just if I'm around, like, because if I'm sourcing, a lot of times I'm sourcing out of town and I will leave first thing in the morning and our local post office isn't open yet. But yeah, I'm not mad that she started helping with
It's
shipping.
saved a lot of fights.
Yeah.
He gets frustrated with shipping. I don't think it's that hard, but that's okay.
It's not my favorite.
The next question is how did we get started?
This is a big question, and maybe if you guys are interested, we'll make a full video about just this question, but I'll give you a bit of it. So
it wasn't we.
It was me. It was me, and we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 boys, both
Babies.
very young, and I was working like 40 to 60 hours as a janitor on the east side of Flint. So it was a great job. It was my favorite job. But I had heard about it and I was listening to a lot of podcasts while I was working because I had enough, not downtime, but enough like mindless work where I could listen to 3 to 4 podcasts every day. And I just decided I wanted to try. So we went to the local Goodwill and I bought 5 shirts for $20. That's how we got started.
And then my closet was full of stuff and it wasn't mine. Okay, the next question is how do you juggle both working from home and homeschooling?
This is tough, and it's what would you say? I'd say it's all communication and scheduling.
Scheduling is huge, and you have to know who works best at what hour of the day.
Yeah.
I am a morning person. One of our kids is a morning person. One hates school, one loves school. So you have to kind of figure out where to schedule in everybody. We don't wake up and do school because it just...
Yeah, we have a 5 and a 6-year-old.
Yeah, it just doesn't work for our family. And if we get the work out of the way, then we are both available to teach our kids and they get a better education, I think. But it's not... I won't say it's not hard. It is hard.
It's hard, but I think it's been easier. It would get more difficult before when we tried to have a set schedule, like based on times.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, but like if you fall behind or you get off track, if you're anything like me, you start to get kind of stressed about that and then you might get snappy. So now we try to look at our day in like split into portions. I was listening to a podcast by it was Ed Milet, I think, and he talked about how he viewed each one of his days as like 2 or 3 days, like in 6-hour segments. So I kind of took that idea and twisted it a little bit, and we look at our day in thirds. So there are the tasks that I will typically do in the first third, the middle, and then the end, and then the same for her. And as long as we communicate and we have that same thing going, I know that in the morning the first third of her day is going to be like eBay and business related things. So it'll be shipping, inventory, and photography. And then after that, it goes into like this
feeding our kids.
Yeah, like mom duty, breakfast, like that's when you do the schooling.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's kind of like a block where you're not done. It's not like we are just hanging out. It's usually like our workout, finishing up anything. And then for me, I get up and it's usually I either get right into listings. I try to start off with the maintenance. So I try to answer all the emails, offers, send offers, deal with all that. And then I will move into the listing or the thrifting. And so if it's a listing day, typically I'll finish that and then lunch, a workout, and then YouTube. If it's a thrifting day, then I will thrift, I'll get home, it'll be a lunch, a workout, and then listing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wrap up at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we work off of each other's strengths because Michael is better with customers. I would give everything away for free and give everyone gold stars. That's not how you run a business.
No.
And I am good at tasks. I am taskmaster. I like to get things done, but I don't want to be in charge.
She's good at organizing too. She has saved me. That's how she originally came into the business, because for a while it was just me, and she helped out with some things, but it was usually just like a spontaneous random thing,
A
like
helper, yeah.
where she would like reorganize the office, and I'd come home and I'd be like, babe, this is great, like this is amazing, I didn't even know I wanted this. But that kind of branched out into other things, and
yeah, as the business grew, he couldn't handle, I guess this is probably for that other video that we're going to make, but as the business grew, he couldn't handle all of it on his own. And so I just kind of gradually, as it got larger, started taking the tasks that, maybe weren't meant for him.
I'm thankful.
All right, there's one more question. Are you ready?
I think so. What is...
Who's the most beautiful woman you know?
Oh, that's you. Of course.
Okay.
It's not bad thing working with her. I've heard people joke about it before. Like, how do you like work with your wife and homeschool with your wife and do all these things? And it's still the same thing. It's communication, and luckily we have enough space. We have a decent sized place where we're not on top of each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had definitely frustrating moments, but if you have that open communication and then you have realistic expectations, it's, like the way our workday is set up, we could work and function if we weren't on the best terms. Thankfully, we're usually good, so.
All right, that's it.
All right, so let me know what you guys think. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment. Maybe this is something that we will do occasionally. And if you have any ideas about other videos or stuff that you want to see, let us know. We probably we did get some questions about the pallets that we started doing, so I said that we would make a video of that.
And he won't say it, but I will. Subscribe.
Come back soon.